And I have the privilege of having an expert here, of having Mr. Michael Robert Long, aka Mike. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ben.
For those of you who don't know, Mike is a water specialist. He studied an MBA from Hamilton University in the United States, but he's gone down the road for his passion of water. Now, Mike, this is, before we get into the scientifics of water, please tell us a little bit about yourself. Why water? Like, out of all the passions out there, why water?
I think it probably is a result of how I was raised.
Right.
My father has always been interested in health and nutrition. Even back in the 50s, when I was a young kid, very young, let me say.
Very young, okay.
We lived in a mountain town in Oregon.
Okay.
Relatively clean water. But
is that in Portland or?
Place called Klamath Falls.
Klamath Falls, okay.
Anyway, the water there is relatively clean. But my dad, even back then, had a filter. Right. And of course, I wondered why. He explained to me why. And from there, it all happened. I got into the water industry and have been in it for a long, long time.
Okay, so water is your calling, which is part of our Nature's Call section. But, Mike, is like water, what is the general standard quality of water worldwide? And like, and my second question leading into that is, how do you compare the developed countries to the not so developed countries in terms of water measurement?
Water is tremendously different everywhere you go.
Right.
Sad to say, according to UNICEF, the United Nations Children Foundation, there's about 6,000 kids per day die every day because of
6,000?
6,000 per day die because of contaminated water. Fortunately for most of us, developing and developed nations, the water that we consume can be called safe. Okay?
Okay. Safe as in drinkable safe?
Safe as in drinkable safe, meaning you're not going to get sick and potentially die within the next week or so.
Okay, okay.
But there's a big difference between safe and healthy.
Right.
For example, if you eat a non-stop diet of fast food, it's safe, but is it healthy?
Then tell us in your 2 years here, a 2-year assessment, what is the quality of water in Malaysia?
Without being too technical, we have a saying or a term that we use called aesthetics. And aesthetics really talks about the color, the smell, the taste. So I would have to say, generally, from my experience, the water in Malaysia here is safe, if you will, in general. The aesthetics are a little bit lacking. Yellowish, sometimes a funny smell. So we've got a filtration system that filters all the water in our home in Kota Kemuning, and then we purify the water that we drink.
Right. Okay, so speaking of aesthetics, we're very lucky here to have some very fancy technology that you brought with us. I thought you brought a microwave oven there, Mike, as we can see. So can you tell us what this gizmo is here?
This is a reverse osmosis water purification.
Water purifier. And what does this purifier do?
This purifier basically takes anything in the water that shouldn't be there and removes it.
Okay. And now, is this gadget, is this quite like something that you encourage most homes to have? Well,
I would say this: if a person is interested in health, if a person is interested in long-term well-being,
health,
you should probably consider doing something to improve water quality. Case in point, look at all of the bottled water being sold everywhere. 20 years ago, when you were growing up, you didn't see bottled water in every market, every store. Today, it's everywhere because people are now becoming more and more conscious and aware of water quality.
Okay, and we have here some examples of water filter, just like on my left, coming up here. Now, Mike, this is the KL's water filters in the last 10 months, just a sample. Okay, just here. Oof, it's a heavy objective. Can do some weights. So it doesn't look too healthy, does it? You know. Now tell us about this, Mike. I mean, does the graphic tell the story?
Well, the graphic is physically what's inside this machine.
Oh, really?
Yes, exactly what's inside the machine.
Okay.
So to purify water, you have to go through steps or stages. And that's exactly what you see here. You see various steps or stages, and this is literally a system that was taken apart and cut open from a location, a home here in the Klang Valley.
Okay, so this is very much Klang Valley example, what an average Klang Valley water filter would look like?
Definitely.
Okay, where are in your time here, where are the cleanest, sort of best sort of water concentration in your opinion? I know it's a bit...
Wow, Ben, I can't answer that because, again, I haven't been around Malaysia enough to say this area is better than another area.
Yeah.
Part of it is infrastructure. You might have clean water from the municipal supply, but if your pipes have got cracks and breaks and leaks, mud and stuff comes in, and then what you get out at your tap is a little bit funny looking.
But what is the contributing factor, what do you think are contributing factors, Mike, of poor water quality? Is it because of the environment that we live in? Is it the overuse of technology? I mean...
Generally speaking, water quality worldwide has declined dramatically over the last few decades. And you can directly tie it to contamination or pollution. Environmental factors, industrial waste. People just do not take care the way they should in protecting such a valuable natural resource.
Okay, so what's your advice for the Malaysian public out there? What's your advice for them, not only just for water, but how they can manage this resource better?
I think that if people do what they can to be more aware of where they throw things, dumping paint. I've seen people dump paint in the drain.
So if we as the Malaysian general public, if we don't continue to do this, are we going to run out of water? Or is it going to be like a real commodity and a resource like oil and gas or something like that?
There's no doubt that it's already coming. There's been several books written. There's a lot of people who are quite concerned that there are going to be major wars fought over water because water is becoming a very, very precious commodity as opposed to it used to be just it was everywhere, it was free, you didn't think about it.
No, it didn't. And most Malaysian people, what they're doing now is that they're just taking some water and boiling it, and that thinks boiling the water will sort of get rid of all the bacteria, but that's not the case, is it?
Well, boiling water will kill microorganisms. It will kill bacteria, it will kill virus. But there's so many things in water now that are quite dangerous. Lead, mercury, other heavy metals, nitrates from fertilizer. All of these things cannot be removed by boiling. So you run the risk in boiling of consuming all of those other contaminants, although you've made it safe from a microbiological standpoint.
How much would an average Malaysian, if they were going to put this into their household, not just in the implementation phase, but the management, getting someone to look at it, the cleaning, the maintenance, all of the above, I mean, what are we looking at in terms of our checkbook and budgets? Well,
I would say, and let me answer this indirectly, I would say that it would cost you far, far less than the average smoker spends on cigarettes. And the health of the human body is directly dependent upon the quality of the water that they consume. Our bodies are 2/3 water, so it just stands to sense.
Yes, our body is 2/3 water. And what is the average number of glasses of water that a person must have, Mike, before they get their day going?
You should drink at least 8 glasses of water. That doesn't include tea, coffee, or the other things. 8 glasses of water. Personally, I drink about 3 or 4 liters.
Okay, 3 or 4 liters, my God. That you must be a very well hydrated man. But last question, Mike, before we go to the break, because we're just running out of the time. This is such an interesting topic. These filters, give us a bit of a price range so we can sort of educate the public, what's the cheapest to the most expensive and not jeopardizing on quality.
Wow. Ben, let me be as straight as I can be.
Be straight.
Okay.
Be straight.
You asked me the cheapest to the highest.
Yes, but versus quality though.
Okay. Quality. Transportation. What's cheaper, a bicycle or a BMW?
Well,
they're both transportation.
They're both transportation, but I have to say bicycle, the good old legs.
There you go. A good carbon filter will take out a lot of contaminants. Again, we believe that purification is the key.
Purification.
Make sure you're drinking H2O. That's what water is.
H2O.
H2O.
Okay.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, so Mike, our expert, has spoken. Drink H2O. and it's all about the quality. But we're just gonna go for a short break right here on The Breakfast Show. And I'd like to thank Mike for coming on and sharing his views, making a very complicated issue look very simple and very straightforward. So hats off to you, Mike. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben.
We're just going to go for a short break. We'll see you right soon on The Breakfast Show, the show worth waking up for. Stay with us. Don't go away.